Hi guys, this is Musa. In this video, I'm gonna solve the quiz 2 problem. Okay, this is our quiz 2 paper. Let's open the Excel template. I have this data, and in the part A, it asks for the covariance entry. So one of the entries in the covariance matrix, it asks for what is the entry for stock 3 and stock 2. Also, we can start from this entry to type our formula. Okay, so we're gonna report this, but it doesn't matter. We can start with any entry. Let's this time start with this entry. So what is the covariance? Covariance between two stocks is their correlations times the standard deviations of each stock. But for the standard deviation, we're gonna use a smart function, lookup function. Okay, lookup. Let's pull out the standard deviation of stock 3. So my lookup value is stock 3 name, comma. I'm gonna search the stock 3 in this table array in a horizontal manner. So I'm going to look at in a horizontal manner. So I am fixing my table. Okay. Then when I find the stock name, stock 3 here, I need to display row 1, row 2, or row 3. Which one? I'm gonna display row 3 because the standard deviation is at row 3. So that's why the row index number is 3, and I need exact match. So as I said in the class, I am trying to pull out these stock names in here in this range. So when I copy over my formula, I want to make sure that I will be still in the column H, because those stock names are in the column H. So that's why for this entry, I am putting a $sign just in front of H. So this H lookup value is gonna pull out the stock 3 standard deviation. Okay. Also, I need to pull out the standard deviation of stock 2. So I'm gonna use another H lookup for this purpose. What is my lookup value? It is stock 2, comma, I'm gonna look up for stock 2 name within this table array, and I am fixing my array, comma, when I find the stock 2 name at the top, I need to display the third row, because I have just three rows, and at the row 3 I have the standard deviation, and I need exact match. Okay. And since those stock values lies in the row 7, I need to fix row 7. Okay, enter. So when I copy over my formula, okay, like this, like that. So for instance, for here, as you can see, I am pulling out the right names for this one. Okay, so we are done with the covariance matrix. Okay, now let's write our constraints. So some of my decision variables, this is left hand side, should be 1. What is my actual return? It is gonna be some product of my mean returns, comma, my decision variables. Okay. Okay, what is my portfolio variance? I'm going to multiply 3 matrices. For this one, I'm going to use mmult 2 times. I'm going to mmult my decision variables matrix. Okay. Comma, my covariance matrix. Then I'm gonna multiply the resulting matrix with another matrix, and I'm going to use another amount. So this is going to be resulting matrix. I'm going to multiply this matrix with the decision variable matrix. Due to the dimension restriction, I'm going to take the transpose of my decision variable matrix. I am closing the parentheses for transpose and then for the amount, and I need to use Control Shift Enter. Why? Because I am using array functions. Since I have no values here because I delete them, there will be value, but you can solve this problem just putting zeros here. But in the quiz there are zeros here. Okay, now I have 0. Okay, now let's define our problem in the solver. Data. Okay, sorry, data. I'm gonna minimize my portfolio variance, green cell. My changing cells are my decision variables, fractions to invest. I'm gonna add my total invested will be 100% or 1, this value, and my total return will be greater than or equal to my required return cell. Okay, so I'm done. Now I'm gonna solve the problem. I solved the problem. So what are those numbers? Those numbers are my optimal solution for the required return value of 13%. Okay, let's find the low, average and high return. For this one I need to calculate the square root of my variance. Okay, so this is the actual return, and this is the actual return minus 2 times standard deviation, and this is the actual return plus 2 times standard deviation. Okay, so if I copy these numbers here, this is the answer for part B for the 13%. For the 40 and 15%, I'm gonna just do the following. I'm gonna just change this 0.13 to 0.14, and then I'm gonna call the solver and solve the model. That's it. Solve the model, say OK. This time I'm gonna report this result. So this is the optimal solution for what? For the required return of 13%. So what is the range? Since variance is changing, standard deviation is changing, so those guys are changing, so those numbers are dynamically updated. So what is this? This is the range for 14%, and this is the optimal solution for 14%. You just need to report those results. For the 15%, okay, it says for the 15%, I'm gonna solve the problem. I'm gonna just change this value to 15%, and I'm gonna just call the solver again, and I'm gonna just hit this solve button. Okay, so this time I got this solution. Okay, I put it here, and then my range is dynamically updated. I just put numbers here. So we are done with the part B. So what is the part C? Part C is just kind of gauging you are really know what you are doing. So what is this? What is standard deviation for 15%? Actually this is the what we got here. For this one, your standard deviation is 0.149. So some students are confused with the dollar sign. Actually this is true also for dollar sign, and this is true for percent. Why? If it is for the dollar sign, it means if you invest $1, your standard deviation will be $0.149. Or this is in terms of percent, the same idea. It is 14.9%. So here you will be writing this percent. Okay. Part D, at the following constraint, no stock will have more than 50% fraction. So we're gonna just call the solver, and we're gonna just add that my decision variables will be less than or equal to 0.5. Just I'm gonna add this, and I'm gonna solve the model, and I'm gonna just report my new results. Okay, let's put them here for 50% restriction. Okay, I can do this. Okay, then what is my range? This is my range for this. I can do this. Okay. So the last part. In the last part, I'm gonna just copy my worksheet. It says copy your worksheet. Okay, double click on this. Great, copy. And in this model, now I'm gonna maximize my actual return, and I'm gonna put a constraint restriction on my standard deviation as 12% for this booklet B. Okay, I'm gonna data solver. Now I'm gonna maximize my actual return, this number. Decision variables are the same. Now I need to remove this constraint, because also I am saying this in the part E. Remove your actual return constraint. I am just removing this because this time I'm just maximizing my actual return. Delete this. Also I am saying that keep your 50% restriction. That's good. And now I'm going to add my portfolio standard deviation will be less than 12%. So I'm going to select this standard deviation less than this. Then I'm going to solve my problem with the new constraint, and I'm maximizing my actual return. Okay, let's do this. Then I'm gonna just report my decision variables, those numbers. Okay, and I'm gonna also report those numbers. So this is so this is for part A. Part B is those solutions and the ranges. Part C is just standard deviation for the 15% requirement, and this is part D, restriction on 50% and the range. And the last part is I am maximizing my actual mean return subject to standard deviation is less than 12%, and I am done. Thanks for watching.